What's up, everybody? It's your girl Keisha, the host of Put Your Phone Down podcast. We got a special edition. I had asked earlier for my guys that went to work, class of 96, to come through. I really wanted a voice to men section where men can come, vent, talk it out. What is it like to be in the mind of a man? And Johnny came first to the play. He is a man of his word. He always has been. So, Johnny, one thing I can say is, like I said, he is a man of his word. We talked about it in the inbox, and his answers to some of the questions I was shooting at him was just mind blowing because I feel in my heart he spoke from an honest place of how most men think. Now, Johnny is not here to represent all men, but I feel in my spirit that Johnny is going to have a lot of men dabbing each other like he spoke for us. He spoke for us. So one thing I would love to say to Johnny is he did 6 years in the Air Force. And I just want to say, Johnny, thank you so much for your service. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Funny story about that, but yeah, you're welcome.
Yeah, we go straight into it. So we go start off, Johnny, talking about the segment is boys to men. You were just entering adulthood, right? Just kicking it, just out here. So before we get into, the whole women, men need to, vent and stuff, we gonna talk about what made you go into the Air Force.
Yeah, funny he should say. So the boys to men thing. So of course, graduated high school. Shout out '96. Y'all know we was the best class ever. Um, did my thing. Went to IUN. Yada yada yada. Thought I was going to the league. Of course not. Didn't make that. But went to IUN. Moved to Indianapolis. So me and a couple of other people that we know um, had an apartment together. We was chilling, doing what 19, 20-year-olds do. Somebody got some liquor, you know, people was doing that, that green thing. And so we end up having a party, a huge party. So I wake up the next morning. I remember it was like a Sunday. No, it wasn't. It was a Friday. Um, Wake up the next morning. I go in the freezer looking for something to eat because I'm hungry. I was fucked up the night before. Open up my freezer. It's an 8 ball or two of crack in there, and I'm like,
Wait,
whoa!
repeat that part. You open up the freezer and what's in there?
It's an 8 ball or two of crack. Now,
Ooh,
back then, I had been known, especially here in Indianapolis, I had been known to dabble in the sales of a certain plant. Um, so had that. So I wasn't too much worried about that. But I was like, I ain't messing with that work. Well, the people that I was with, apparently they want to mess with the work. So they had got some work from somebody, and this work is in my freezer. So I'm standing there thinking, I'm like, man, if somebody come in here right now, everybody going to jail, and I'm too pretty for jail. So yeah, I went I closed the freezer, stepped back, walked over to the phone book. This is when that was phone book.
right.
Called the Army recruiter. He answered. I was like, "Hey, bro, come get me right now." He was like, "What?" I was like, "Yeah, come get me right now." So I went, talked to him. I was like, "Yeah, some got to give, bro." Uh, Took the ASVAB real quick. He was like, "Bro, I can send you right now." Apparently, I did good on it. He was like, "I can send you right now," and my good sense popped in. I was like, "Well, hold on, bro. Let me think about this for a second." So I'm going to the Navy, talk to them, whatever. They was crazy, whatever. Walked in the Air Force office. Nobody came running at me. Dude was sitting there with his feet up on the desk. And I'm like, so what's up with this, man? You the only one in here? He was like, yeah. I said, ain't nobody running up to him? He was like, we don't do that here. So I'm like, all right, so tell me about it. He was like, well, and he asked me all my information, whatever. Did that, looked my stuff up. He was like, okay, your scores is cool, whatever. He's like, let me see your ID. Gave him my ID. He's like, oh, you 21? I was like, yeah, 21. So, oh, okay, let's get out of here. What do you mean, let's get out of here? So let's get out of here. So we left. Went to the strip club. Got popped. Completely messed up. He talked to me about a couple of things or whatever. He ended up calling his wife to come pick us up from the strip club, mind you. I'm in the back seat of his wife's car. This dude turns around, looks at me, and says, and all of that was on the government dime. I said, sign me up, bro. So that's how I ended up getting the Air Force.
Dude.
Yeah.
So everything just turned around for you. Like this is why the story was so important, because even though we're not kids anymore, I think we still kind of envision each other from our high school days or whatever.
Yeah.
Everybody knew Johnny as, extracurricular, into sports, cool. And then I think it would have shocked everybody if they would have found your name in a newspaper
Oh, yeah.
tied up to that kind of shit. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yes.
The A-ball story, I just was like, nah, we gotta let the people know. I mean, because
yeah.
I don't, was it for use or for sale?
It was for sale.
Oh, yeah. So
it was for sale.
You know, they wouldn't have ever, the cops would have, like you said, walked up in there, you would still.
Everybody was going down.
Yeah.
It was all kind of just not rightness going on up in there.
I mean, y'all 20 plus years old, like you said, you partying. There is no way that the cops would have believed your story of, I didn't know it was in there. As soon as you would have said, I stay here, they would have been like, oh, well, now you going down too.
Yeah, apartment in my name, everything. I was out of there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the Air Force was the best decision for you. And I had to get that story out. I want to say thank you again for your service. So we about to get into the manhood portion. So in this segment, I ask a question. I will not interrupt. There is not women do this and women do that. No. A woman is asking you, the man, a question, and I'm going to put my shit on mute because it's in me to kind of I might want to jump in a little bit, but whatever you say, I think is a rip a Band-Aid off. And you never know, you might be saving somebody. Some people are completely blind until they hear it coming from somebody else's perspective. Okay.
Right.
So
disclaimer. These ideas are of Johnny Downs and nobody else's.
True. But I think it's about to be a bunch of Johnny Downs that go agree. Right. So one of the questions I asked you, I'm trying to think which one I want to ask first, the accountability one or the one about who do men talk to? Which one you think, which direction you think I should go?
We can go either way because actually they both coincide.
Yeah, they do. Okay. So number one question, who do men talk to when they are fed up, they're not being heard in their relationship, back is against the wall, go to work, got to deal with people, and it's all building up. It's some tension, and you know that you are not the only one to blame. So you have your partner on the other end who only points the finger solely at you. Who do men talk to in that situation? And do you feel that a woman holds accountability to any of that situation I just put out there to you? And I'm about to put it on mute.
Okay. So who do we talk to in that type of situation? Honestly, if you don't if a guy doesn't have a group of friends or a friend or a good friend or something like that or whatever, male homeboys or whatever, he eats it. He doesn't get to vent. That's where you find brothers that have man caves that's just in their man cave by themselves. Where you find brothers that got that, that old car that they're working on, or some type of hobby, a boat or something. They'll throw themselves into that hobby instead of talking about it. So if you don't have that with your homeboys, then you don't talk at all. And the accountability part, um, surprise, ladies, some of y'all got a real issue with accountability. Y'all don't like taking it. It's always, well, he did this, so I did this, instead of, damn, I did this, or I really did this to make him feel like X, Y, Z or whatever. So I'm sorry, and I'm not saying all women do this, but it's a lot of y'all that don't take accountability.
So when you talked about the men eat it up, I remember saying like, damn, because that made me real sad and saying, and knowing that, certain women, we have our core, that we can call up somebody and hang up and call some damn body else, like the story still the same. We looking for that one friend with the extra dramatic reactions. But you mentioned you just eat it up if you don't have somebody to talk to. And I felt like that was real sad, because most women do have some type of tribe where they can just kind of dump it off on. The next thing I wanted to talk about, you have some women who are so sure that, somebody is not leaving. So one of the things me and you covered was the rate of men filing for divorce. Like when we see it now, we see a lot of it going on with the celebrities. Like, look, and a lot of women shook by this, because in their mind they're thinking, oh, it must have took a lot, because a man don't ever file. Johnny, you got a story. So do you believe in what I just stated? Do you think a man just go stick around and take anything? Do you think that it's okay for a man to foul first? Like, what's your opinions about that?
So yeah, brother's gonna file. Because at the end of the day, I tell you, like I say, like somebody told me what really made me do it. Well, let me back up. I'm one of them brothers that filed for divorce. I was married. I'm on my second marriage. I was married prior to, and I was the one that filed for divorce. Did she cheat? I don't know. Probably, I don't know. But it was just the way that her treatment of me. Man, I just went blank. Yeah. So it was her treatment of me, and I filed for divorce. So brothers is realizing that your happiness is worth everything. That little money that you know comes through or whatever in a divorce or whatever. If you gotta do child support, and we had a child or whatever at the time. But your happiness is priceless. It is priceless. We good.
Johnny, my ass is froze up.
Well, we still recording, so we good,
yeah,
right?
Shit. I mean, damn it. I don't know when this thing go unfreeze.
Well, I'll just talk till it unfreeze. How
about Look, we gonna rock it out, but damn it, shit. Okay, so look, I like the.
I was going to say, so yeah, I filed for divorce, and brothers and a lot of women, they don't think you'll do that, because for mine, she was like, well, I thought you were scared to be out on your own. And I'm like, are you serious right now? Like I was on my own before you, and I can definitely be on my own after you. So, and my thought process was I was young, I had a career, um, owned a home, all that kind of good stuff, whatever, and checking a whole lot of boxes that women were saying that they wanted in a partner. And here I am with this miserable chick, trying to make her happy, and that don't, it don't work. Which is another reason why I don't rock with the happy wife, happy life thing. Because you can drive yourself crazy and be miserable trying to make this wife happy, and it might not ever happen. So I believe in happy spouse, happy house, because then that means both of us have to be happy in order for you have
I
to make.
believe in that too. Do you mind at all sharing just a small snippet of what you shared with me? To just kind of shed some light about
Oh, when
what
I
I
filed,
yeah when I took it as you trying to save it. But do you mind sharing that portion?
yeah, go ahead. So um, we have been arguing and going through some things. First off, I was married for 10 years. We have been going through some stuff. It was like a 7-year itch or whatever. So, how they say. So we've been going through some stuff, whatever, and just arguing, and we ain't nothing happening in the bedroom, whatever, and that's a no go. Um, so I'm like, look, we need to go to counseling. We need to do what we need to do with something. Like something got to give. And she was like, well, ain't nothing wrong with me. You go to counseling. So I'm like, bet, cool, I'll do that. So not only did I go to one counselor or one therapist, I went to 3. And each one of them was like, bro, ain't nothing wrong with you. Where's she at? I'm like, she don't want to come. So at that point, I'm like, okay, so there's nothing wrong with me. There's something wrong with you. You don't want to get it fixed. So one day I was like, all right, I'm gonna just hit her up. So get home from work. I was like, hey, listen, we need to talk. I was like, I'm gonna ask you a question, and I need you to understand that there's some serious ramifications with your answer to this question. So I need you to think about it. She's like, all right, fine, whatever. So I was like, okay, do you have a desire to make me happy? And she said, before I could even get the question out good, she was like, no, I just want to be by myself. So I'm like, I bet. Um, so we had always had conversations about say what you mean and mean what you say. Because if you say something to me, I'm gonna assume that's what you mean. So this whole, well, I was mad, I said that when I was mad stuff, whatever, that's how you really feel. So that don't fly. So I was like, all right, bet. She said that. Cool. Went to bed, got up the next morning, like, nothing happened or whatever. She gets up, goes to work. I called my job. I'm like, hey, yo, I'm not coming in. I explained what was happening with my supervisor, whatever, what was going on. Um, and then I called a lawyer. I went to the lawyer office. I was like, yo, look, this is what's happening. This is how it is. We got property together, we got kids together, blah, 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 all that kind of good stuff. So he drew up the papers or whatever. I'm like, cool. She get off work, she come home. There you go. That's for you to sign. If you don't have a desire to make me happy or nothing like that, why we together? So
So one of the things that I sent you was like this video, and I'm a paraphrase. Um, the video started out with a guy in the audience basically saying, if a woman's intuition can pick up on other stuff from a man, how come she cannot pick up when he's unhappy? And we both discussed that. What are some signs that women are missing when a man is unhappy?
um okay. That word, okay. If everything you say to him, I'm gonna do such, 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 such. Okay. I'm gonna do this, that, and the other. Okay. Do you want me to do? Okay. If he's just not interested or whatever, he's not happy. Um, a huge thing. So one thing with women in arguments, I'm not gonna say all women, and I'm gonna say this in my experience. in Johnny Downs' experience with dealing with women, this has happened. Y'all hit below the belt in an argument. So for whatever reason, y'all hit below the belt, or if it's something that we shared with you, or if it's something like a fear or a something that we are self-conscious about or something like that or whatever, y'all will turn around and use that in an argument and hit him below the belt. Once you do that one time, we won't feel safe around you no more. We're not going to share nothing with you. We're not going to open up to you. We're not going to do anything like that for you anymore. You got one time to do that. That's it. Because then it comes off as you're disrespecting me. And if it's one thing, a man would much rather you respect him than to love him.
That was some deep shit. That was some deep shit. So the word okay. When a woman is saying, like, you know, in what context? Like, hey, you hungry? Is that when he started getting dry with her, checking out pretty much? You know, is it to that level? Is it to that degree?
It's like when I'm like, oh, I'm getting ready to go out with my girls. Okay. Oh, this dude tried to holler at me, this, such. All right. Because we don't care.
That's the checkout for y'all.
We're done.
That's what checking out looks like.
We're shut down. So
by that time, when you have reached that point where you down to one word and you dry, is there any point of return that the woman can do?
Pay attention. Pay attention. Because if he's doing that, okay, what am I doing? Let me take a step back and do that curse word that is accountability for women. What am I doing to make him shut down? Or what have I done to make him shut down? Like, really take a step back and look in the mirror. Like, damn, does he really, like, I'll give you an example. There was a situation where I got a phone call and the other person on the other line was like, hey, what you doing? Are you at home? Nah, I'm not at home. Oh, okay. Wow, what's up? Don't worry about it. No, what's going on, really? What's going on? Don't worry about it. To me, if I ask a question, this is just me, this is Johnny Downs. If I ask a question, if somebody asks a question, it is a sign of respect for somebody else, the person that was asked the question, to answer it. No matter what that question is, that person deserves an answer. So that's a sign of disrespect. You're not going to answer because I'm not able to do what you want me to do. It doesn't matter what I'm talking about because there's no use for you. So that's what that.
Can the woman, when she starts, if somebody is listening now and she taking some real notes, but by then the guy has checked out. I mean, he has probably started talking to divorce lawyers or low-key looking into other places to stay. Can she repair that in any type of way? Do you think that she can repair that? Or is he just like, look, we good. You go your way, I go mine?
It depends on her respect level for him. And she can go and talk to him and, hey, have I done something to disrespect you? How do you feel? You know, and look, us as Black people, I don't know why. Maybe it's because, growing up, we didn't have money, or I don't know what it was, but we do not go to therapy. Like, look, I'm the biggest advocate of therapy forever. It has changed my life. Going to therapy brought some stuff up that I didn't know I had in me, and had no idea that I was doing. So it's great. But therapy, man, get some counseling. Go talk to some damn body. Everybody, go to couples counseling. Go, all of that stuff. We as Black people need that, and our mental health is what it is for real. Uh, Men too. We need to go. Yeah, we need to go to therapy. But yeah, everybody go to therapy.
So we talking about therapy, and I love that too. I agree. I think that it should be promoted more. I love when people are vocal about it and saying that they going, because it really does take a deep dive into who you are, and why you react in the way that you do from time to time. So you said the word respect. I
Mm-hmm.
know respect is one of those things. Everybody has a different definition of respect. Speaking for Johnny Downs, but I again believe it's a bunch of Johnny Downs.
Mm-hmm.
What is the most disrespectful? I know you mentioned a woman bringing up something that you told her in secrecy in your vulnerable times.
Mm-hmm.
Well, what's disrespectful to Johnny Downs and the other Johnny Downs? How can a woman be downright disrespectful?
That you know, just that going. If I told you something, if we're in a relationship, right, and I'm close enough to open up to you, that is so disrespectful for you to come back and throw that thing that I open up to you in my face and just be like, well, you a man, you supposed you ain't got no feelings. That's really how a lot of women treat us. Like we don't have feelings. No, we don't express our feelings the way that y'all do. Like I don't think I've cried since I was 8, but I don't express myself through crying. That's not how I do. But that don't mean my feelings ain't hurt. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that is the ultimate form of disrespect when you tell somebody something and they turn around and use it against you to hurt you. That's ain't no coming back from that for Johnny Downs.
So when we talk about accountability, and I know you said we're not speaking for all women, but I know it's a large amount who know that
They got a problem with
they
that.
don't. You know, um, does that start? Do you think that starts the separation? No, when
Yes.
you when you're dating somebody, okay, and I understand the representative is there. But is that something that you overlook? Like when you dating a chick, and you dating for a minute, maybe a year or 2 year, you start noticing certain shit. She doesn't take accountability, she's spoiled, or she has this saying, "Oh, I'm just like that." Um, my question is, why then do some men still make it to the altar with that chick who showed those signs and still said, "Well, I'll marry her"? When does that? What makes a man do that? I guess that's my question.
For starters, he didn't know that because she hid it up until when they got married. That's what happened with my first wife. She hid all of that stuff. I mean, you'd have thought, well, I thought this. I'm marrying the perfect woman. First of all, at the time frame where I met her and we were dating and all this kind of stuff, marriage was the furthest thing from my mind because I was doing my thing. Um, Johnny was what we call a whore. Like I was doing my thing. The furthest thing from my mind. But I ran into her and she hit me with the, oh, I know on Sundays I don't exist. You're gonna be watching football. All I need to do is bring you a beer and have dinner ready and all this kind of good stuff or whatever. We dated for 2 years. We did not have one argument. Not one. I'm thinking this is the perfect woman. Huh. After we got married, I wouldn't. So after we got married, she started showing the signs, and I'm like, "Whoa, where did this come from?" You know what I'm saying? And then after my daughter's birth, um, our daughter's birth, that's when the real came out. That's when who she really is came out. And that chick, I wouldn't have pissed on. She was on fire. I'm just be honest with you. So sometimes they don't show it until you get to the marriage, and a lot of times too, because I dated after her, I could tell from the get go. Oh, you selfish as hell. You know what I mean? Like, nope, I can't deal with you. Oh, you disrespectful to the mother. Can't deal with you. How you act when you're mad, that's how you really
Johnny, I'm so glad I had this mic muted because, dude, I'm cracking up. Just
act.
saying, right? So 2 years she hid it.
Yeah,
Um,
masterfully.
so once you got in it, like you said, you had your beautiful daughter. When I tell you, she is absolutely gorgeous.
Yes.
You have her, and then then it's a switch.
Yeah.
What were some things that you noticed? Was she trying to become your mother too, or what was the
Nah, it
switch?
was okay. So with my daughter, it was, oh, I got more say so than you. Hold up, fam. I'm the man in this relationship. I'm the leader of the household. Um, I'm not super duper religious, but I do believe in God. I do believe in um, the thing. It is God, the man, the wife. You know what I mean? Not like that, but God covers everybody. The man covers the wife covers the kids. That's how I believe things happen. Um, but you can't. It's not going to be two leaders around here. Like, nah. And I'm not going to fight you for my position as the head of the household. I'm not going to do that. That's what her thing was. She wanted to be in charge. She wanted to be in control. Nah, we're not going to do that. And had that been discussed truthfully before we got married, because we did sit down and have a conversation, and she lied completely. I would have never married her at all. Period. So that's when that stuff started happening with my daughter. Oh, I got this thing. He ain't going nowhere. So blase scoop.
Ooh, it's getting good. So we talked about accountability. We talked about when a woman hits below the belt. I'm trying to think of some other questions women may have, but until then, I want to go into the smooth portion. So that's the rough side. Okay. That's rough. You took a breather, like you said, you were a whore. And
I wasn't really a whore, but I was, that marriage was not on my mind at all.
yeah. So now we speak to Johnny, who is newly married, and you took your time. You took your time with this. A lot of women would say that men are not, like you mentioned, you don't cry, but it doesn't mean that you don't have feelings and all that stuff.
Mm.
So, from a male's Johnny Downs point of view, what does love and being in love feels like to you?
Oh, I could sum that up in one word: patience. You have to be patient with your partner. Um, so like we discussed or whatever, I was talking about my ex or whatever. Um, I had to come to the realization after we got divorced or whatever, I continued therapy or whatever. And I realized they helped me realize that I was actually what do you call it? I was emotionally abused. So she would withhold sex, withhold, I'm not talking to you, I'm not doing all that stuff is emotional abuse. So when I met my current wife and we were just talking and friends, well, first off, we was friends first. That's we were friends first. Um, and then, when we got closer and all that kind of good stuff, she was so patient. And it was crazy because I was like, man, I would have left me alone. But she was like, I knew she knew my situation or whatever, and she knew that I was dealing with some things. But she was so patient with me, and that is crazy. So that's why I say being in love is patience.
I agree with that. I think it takes a lot of patience to, um, you know, develop a relationship with somebody who was brought up differently from you. They have a past, you have a past, and you trying to get over those past situations so
Mhm.
you can be the person you want to be to that person, to that one, you know. Let's see. I had a question in my mind and then I just dropped it because you know shit, we in our 40s, Johnny. Shit.
Mid-40s at that. Shit.
Man, how did we get here?
Hey, look, we blessed to be here. That's because a
Look,
lot of us didn't get it. Didn't get it.
amen to that. I look, amen to that. So you have some women who um they want to have, I guess, a friend in their husband or their boyfriend. There are some women who feel as though, you know, the spark has went out, and when they get around other people, you know, they light up. For example, you at home chilling, you know, maybe y'all don't go out as much, but that you at home. And to you, you might be thinking, well, what's the problem? But let's say you get a phone call, your homeboy call, and you light up. Oh well, yeah, you know, you cracking jokes. You are your happy self. Some women take offense to that. Well, how come he not like that with me? You know, he don't smile and joke with me. Johnny, can you speak on that a little bit? If you familiar with the lane that I'm going in, how can you do the woman's mind with that?
Damn. You said this was supposed to be the smooth one, right? This about to ruffle a whole lot of damn feathers. Sorry, ladies. If she feel like that, she's selfish as hell. She's selfish as hell. Because why would you say, well, he don't do nothing like that for me, instead of just enjoying you with that guy, right? You love that dude. So you love to see him smile. You love to see him happy. Why wouldn't you be happy that your man is happy right now? But instead, you're thinking about you. You're selfish. You are selfish.
So one would say that, you know, maybe she wants him to be that way with her.
She will be that way with her. You give out, you get back what you give out. If you give out, why you ain't doing that to me? You gonna get, because I don't want to do that with you. But if you give out, babe, you know, that made me happy to see you so happy with your boys. That made me smile. Guess what he gonna do? Oh, babe, you know what? I appreciate that or whatever. You get what you get.
Do you believe in the 50-50 situations? I know a lot of people say, oh, it should be 50-50. Do you believe in that?
As far as financially,
As far as financially, and I guess emotionally and overall, 50-50. Should it be a little bit more, a little less?
nope. Um, it should be financially. I don't know how everybody household work. How my household works, I pay for all the bills. That's just how my household works. So mortgage, uh, light, gas, all that kind of good stuff, whatever. I pay that. Her income, my wife works, you know, she has a good career, all that kind of good stuff, whatever. Her stuff, entertainment, whatever we're doing, we're going on vacations, we're doing all that. That's how we work. How other people work, cool. That's just not how I, that's just not how we work. I don't see anything wrong with 50-50, especially in this day and age for the younger cats or whatever. I absolutely don't see anything wrong with 50-50 because us growing up, it was so many gold diggers and all that kind of stuff. And nowadays, there's so many people that have this sense of entitlement that it is just nuts. Like, I don't owe you, like, you know, of course, everybody on social media or whatever, like them little chicks that's talking about Cheesecake Factory, boy, I could not be dating in this day and age. Because I can't take you to Cheesecake Factory? Like, you got a list where I can't take you to spend my money that I earn? Girl, please.
I'm glad you hit on that because that was gonna be actually my next thing.
Ah,
So Johnny, I mean, it's perfect. It's a perfect segue. Johnny, okay, so now I got to be a little vocal about this, but I'm not at all talking from the woman's point of view. Um, I was telling my homegirl the other day, I think social media is doing a great part in killing what dating initially is. You find so many, and I haven't seen men get on online and blast a lot of women when it comes to dating. But now, instead of enjoying the moment of a man that wants to spend time with you, I'm about him out because he brought coupons. He spent coupons to take us out on a date. And like you mentioned, oh well, he could have took me to someplace better, and it's the Cheesecake Factory. But when we was growing up, the bowling alley, shit, we used to even hit up Celebration Station,
This shit.
and we was good of age, 20 plus years old, hitting up Stardust Bowling Alley, and that was the date. That was like, oh my God, I can't wait for part two. It's almost like the appetizer before you see if this is who you really want to kick it with. You've already expressed your opinion, but I'm just add on.
So
I don't think it's that complicated when it comes to dating. I think that social media is kind of making this a thing. What about you?
I think it's complicated just from. So I'm in. Oh Jesus, I don't know how many. I'm in a few organizations. I just put it that way, and it's a few single brothers in there, and we talk. It's more than social media. This is happening in real life.
What? This is real?
Yes. Yes.
Johnny.
Dudes getting ghosted because they didn't take you to, like, when I was dating, I would a coffee date or a lunch or something, that was my go-to. Because for one, it strips you down. She's not worried about how much money I was very conscious about gold diggers. I don't have a whole lot of money, but I do all right. But I was very conscious about somebody just you're not gonna have me in your phone as free meal. It's just not gonna happen. But that would strip everything down. So we would go for coffee. Now you have to talk. I'm forcing you to talk. What's your intelligence level? Do you have a vocabulary more than 10 words? You know what I'm saying? How do you feel about this subject? How do you feel about that subject? Where do you see yourself in 5 years? Where do you see yourself in 10 years or whatever? That kind of thing. Them kind of dates now, I probably get, if I was on the dating scene now, I probably get ghosted because I wasn't trying to spend no money on you. And I'm not. Me and my wife, I didn't spend any money on her because it wasn't about that.
Right.
It was about us getting to know each other.
I'm still froze. Shit.
Yeah.
I wanted to see my expression because okay, now we can talk until I got another question. I want to thank you for covering that segment. This right here is mind blowing to me. It's mind blowing because I guess I'm looking at it in the way I was brought up. I like having fun, and so simplicity to me is the buildup of more. Now, I think, just talking to certain men, sometimes they want to actually see what you'll do in those simple dates, the park dates, the coffee dates, if you don't, if you enjoy that moment of, like you said, talking, then there chances are it's gonna be a part two. Shit, before you even make it to the car, you like, shit, yeah, I'm getting a part two up out of her. This might be the one type situation, but you want to build a conversation, and that's my thing. I enjoy conversation so much that now when I see people getting online ranting about where a person took you, and it's like, damn, you don't realize your ass didn't even have to be taken out. Like, are you overlooking that portion?
Sense of entitlement. Like, I saw the one where dude took they were going to lunch or whatever, and he took it a Shake Shack.
Yeah.
Look here. that's every bit of $70.
Mm-hmm.
Every bit of $70. So, like, I don't understand why these people, if you can't, okay, so I guess this brings it back. I'm dating. I go out with this chick. We end up going to like a bar or something or whatever. Nothing about this chick. Now, I did this for a reason. I took her out for a reason. I'm a titty man. She has big ass titties. Okay, there you go. But nothing about this chick said top shelf anything. Okay. We go out. She orders a top shelf and made sure she let old girl know a top shelf
Mm.
Long Island iced tea. If that's what you normally do, by all means. But I can tell, men of certain caliber can tell what a woman of certain caliber is. She wasn't no top shelf Long Island iced tea, nothing on her own dime.
Right.
But she knew it was on my dime. So that's what she did. I lived my single life by a woman that asks for nothing deserves everything. My wife did not ask me for anything. There is nothing that I won't deny her that it's in my power to have. Nothing.
I like that you said that because again, you in my head. I was gonna ask what gets the second date. You know, women, I think when we get ready for that date, we get nervous. We telling our friends where he gonna take us. And let's say, example, you guys link up, like you said, coffee, or maybe just out for drinks, adult beverage. She, y'all hug, y'all sit down, y'all talk, and she has this nervous energy with, let's say, all she do is want to be on her phone.
Nah.
Is that a second date because you thinking, okay, maybe she nervous, or are you already like, no, this chick is not happening?
For me, I'm gonna say something. So I'm gonna be like, hey, you got something important. We older or whatever. You might got kids, you might got, special needs kid. I don't know what's going on. Hey, what's so interesting on that phone? Or am I that boring that you don't want to pay attention to me because you're on the phone or whatever? So I'm gonna say something. If she don't have a comeback or something good to say back or whatever, then ain't gonna be no second date.
So no second date if she's too consumed with her phone and other stuff.
Put your phone down.
Well, okay, hello. What gets the second date?
Say again.
What gets the second date?
If I genuinely enjoy being around you and I enjoy our conversation, I think it doesn't matter where you go. You can go on a date shoveling shit. If
Yeah.
you enjoy that person's company, that's gonna be the best shit shoveling you ever had in your life. It should not matter where you go or how much money you spend if you like this person.
What's
When we
your
was in school, or whatever, you like this motherfucker. It don't matter what it. Man, it was girls in smelly ass locker rooms or whatever because they like this dude or whatever, and we was playing football, and they was sitting there watching us play football because they like the dude.
Yeah. What's your take on I don't know if it's aggressive women, but
Love them,
assertive. Huh?
love them.
Okay. So a woman that approaches you, like, oh well, I'm just gonna make the first move. You okay with that?
Absolutely. Why? Many women. It was a chick I dated one time. There's so many women that won't say anything, and you miss out on your blessing. So I know what. Okay, bet. It's no games. It's no. I hated women that play games. Don't play no games. Why? Oh, I don't like him. Yes, I do. Really. We don't like that. Yes, we like a chase or whatever, but nah.
So
We not. We don't want to sweat you.
So you open to a woman coming up to a man like, so what's up? You know, this how assertive is too assertive? You know, after she
That
gives you the
that might
number,
be too assertive. That might be a little too assertive. But if a woman lets you know that she's interested, say we out somewhere and she's like, hey, I'd like to get to know you, blase scoop or whatever, then absolutely. But if she come up to me and be like, hey, what's up? What's up with that dick, nigga? We're not finna do
So Johnny, speaking of social media, they got this thing now where it's a line of men or women
that.
lined up with
Wow.
balloons. You seen this?
Yes.
Now,
That is so. Go ahead. Go ahead. Ask the question.
I was just about to say I couldn't make it. I'm just telling you that it's been some chicks as soon as they walk out, them damn balloons popping. I'm way too sensitive for that shit.
But it is so. It is the shallowest thing I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
I don't like the way he. I don't. And it's really, honestly, it's not the men. It's the women.
I gotta agree with you.
It's the women, because as soon as I don't like his outfit. Oh, his beard don't connect. Oh, this, that, and the other. Oh, he's short. Oh, he this, that, and the, like, wow, wow.
That make me sad because now I can't disagree. I know editing has its thing, but it ain't that much damn editing that a guy can come out, have his career in on lock, you know, never been in jail, and if he has been, he's corrected himself. And like you said, the women, well, I just don't like your name. It's a little bit too, I don't like that. I like the way you dressed and everything, but them shoes, they don't go with your hat. And I'm sitting there like, what the hell? And they have segments where it's people in our age group. So we can't
Oh,
blame it on
absolutely.
young folk.
Absolutely. So I watched this other one, and I rock with this cat, man. I rock with this cat heavy because he be giving it to him. No Fugazi. You ever heard of that podcast?
Yeah.
That's my guy. So he he said there was this building, and there's 6 floors, and he was talking to these 2 chicks. He said there's a building and there's 6 floors. He said on the first floor, here's a man. He's got a job. He has a car. Blase scoop, whatever. He's a good guy, whatever. She said, I want to go higher. Are you picking this guy? Are you staying on this floor? Or are you going higher? I'm going higher. So the next floor, the man was a little bit better. He made 6 figures or whatever, which I don't understand why people so enamored with 6 figures. People that are enamored with 6 figures don't make 6 figures, because 6 figures, you're still broke. Anyway, but they go up, and then they go up to the 5th floor. So then they say, he's got car, he's a great guy, he's, owns a home, this, that, and the other, great career, this, that, and the other. And then both of the girls said, I want to go higher. So then he said, on the 6th floor, that's the guy that doesn't exist. He said, so you just passed 5 of those floors trying to go higher, and the guy that you're looking for doesn't exist. And that's so true. You have a good dude in your hand, and you think this person is better, or something's up there is better, and you'll mess up a good dude or whatever. And then won't take accountability for it. Because a lot of women, how many women have you heard say, damn, I fucked up that good man?
Yeah. Johnny, where do you think all this is coming from? Like, do you think it was going on when we were younger and we just didn't know, and now that we're adults, we're seeing it? Or is it being influenced by, I blame social media on a lot of stuff, but where do you think this is coming from? Because I think it's ruining a lot of good connections that could be made.
I think it's social media too, because when we were coming up or whatever, we didn't have, it's the options. You were in your, you dated in your range, if you get what I'm saying. You dated in your range. So if you didn't have access to this guy that was in California, you're in Indiana, you didn't have access to this guy in California. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
So, but now with social media, you can be in Dubai or somewhere, talking to some dude in Dubai, or talking to some chick in Ireland, and You get flued out, as they say. Get flued out over here. But back then you didn't have that. So you had to date within the confines. If you notice, people can't have a conversation anymore.
Yeah.
You can't have because it's so, oh, well, you so funny online, but you get in face to face, you don't have, where's that wit? No, because it was behind a keyboard.
And I feel like that's what's going on too. Like, I did not think when social media became popular, like I remember the MySpace and Black Planet, and when Facebook took off, that's when I started noticing the disconnect of when people really didn't want to talk. And then when you did get in a room with them, everybody knew what the fuck you was doing because you have posted everything.
Oh,
so it's no conversation, it's no surprise. And I've heard men say that. So that's my next thing. A woman who overshares.
I can't rock with her.
Okay, from the desk of Johnny Down and other Johnny Downs. If a woman has no mystery to her, if everything is posted from the time she wake up to what she cook to how she travels, what's left for the man and other men who want to date her? What's left? What's your thoughts on a chick oversharing way too much?
Because she's gonna share you. There's some things that should be between two people. I don't need you to know. I don't need my mama or whoever you own social media. Like, for me, I don't really put my real life on social media because I don't think social media is real life. I live my life. I don't live on social media. Yes, there will be tidbits of my life on there because I got people that's in England. I got people that I'm still cool with when I was in the Air Force or whatever. I got people that's in England. All of my Air Force buddies or whatever, they scattered all across the world or whatever. So I keep up with them on things. But if I'm having like me and my wife get into it or something, we having a argument or whatever, I ain't go, this month, she talking about this, that, another. What y'all think about this, Facebook? Like, nah, come on, man. It's entertainment for me.
Same. I mean, I I have pulled completely away. If it wasn't for me doing the podcast, I'll be ghost for real, only because it's like what you said, it's not real. It's not real, and people want to post I believe the best parts of their life, which is, I guess, cool. But I need to know the ugly if you go post the best. I mean, shit.
I don't want to know that either. I don't want to know. I want to see everybody that I grew up with, and that's you come from where I come from. I just want to see you win. Period. Yeah. Point blank. I don't wish nobody ill will. I don't wish nothing bad on you or whatever. Nothing. I want to see everybody that we grew up with, that we're around. I want to see you win. I want to see you prosper. You got a business. I want to support it. You got this. I want, that kind of thing. That's what I think social media needs to be. But this whole this cloud that's on, like, people.
Man, it's like everybody, but that's the thing you said, and I agree with you, but it's like everybody is living fabulous. It's like, well, damn. Okay. Like, everybody is living fabulous. And you like, well, I guess the rough days is just over here, because shit, like,
right.
Like, everybody living fabulous, and I do think that it takes away a little bit of a mystery. I don't want my business out there either. I don't need to, have a picture floating around. We kicking it, we doing this. Hey, that's personal for me. I don't need everybody going all the way back to my photo gallery like, oh, well, no.
Back here, you was doing this.
Yeah.
Trying to piece your life together. People piecing your life together from social media.
Yeah.
I guess it's just human curiosity, because I've done it. I ain't gonna lie, I've done it. I'm like, damn, I thought she was, or I thought he was. Yeah, well, okay, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, it bring out your inner detective, but at some point you be like, all right, let me log off and live my real life, Right. So
I got things going on. I got girls to raise.
Yeah, I was gonna say that. So you are a father of 2, correct?
Yep.
Okay. And so I'm gonna ask that later. So to the women out here, Johnny, that we call them thirst traps. Okay. To the women that are, posting their little thirst traps, you are saying from the desk of Johnny Downs, pipe down on oversharing. You don't need to see they every move.
Yeah, pipe down, because that's all you're gonna get is some pipe, and that's it. That's real. That's all you're gonna get. Women hold the key to sex. Men hold the key to commitment.
Mm-hmm. There we go.
So you got all of this kind of stuff on social media, and you showing all the thirst traps and the making your booty claps and all that. And then I don't, for the life of me, I don't understand the BBL culture. I don't get it. Everybody body look the same, but to each his own.
Yeah, I gotta say, it's like everybody. So you basically what you saying to the ladies is have some mystery about yourself. Make you wonder.
And some respect.
Okay. So mystery.
So when I was out there doing my thing or whatever, I loved when I was surprised, right? So me and the young lady, we end up getting intimate or whatever. She don't show in her body and all this kind of stuff, whatever. Then when we get to the time when we intimate and she taking off clothes or whatever, I'm like, damn, I didn't know you had all that. That was great. Instead of, oh, I know she got all that right now. But he knows she got all that, and he knows she got all that, and all these people know she got all that. Save something.
Because that's probably what drove you to her anyway. She oversharing, or she's showing her body parts and things of that. You know what you're getting into.
Because I want the piper. That was it. I just want to. This is all I want to do.
Yeah.
Give you some. That's it. You in this. Like y'all got the friend zone. Like I'm pulling no fugazi all day. But it was so true. Like women got the friend zone, men got the pipe zone.
Yeah.
Piper. That's it. I just want to hit it. That's all.
That's it. And then she get on social media and start dogging you out.
Exactly. But this is why all I want to do is pipe you, because you're nasty.
Yeah.
And I don't mean like that. Your attitude, the way of thinking, nasty.
When you are a man raising these two baby girls, you keeping it real like that. I know that your oldest one, she should be good and in her 20s, right?
My oldest is 20, should be 21 this year.
Ooh, party time. You 21. Johnny, you think you done passed on. You know the story I mentioned to you, and I just want to share it with with the audience about the story that I shared with you, So what I mentioned to Johnny is my father, and I always will represent Donnie King, okay, in any type of story. But what I was telling Johnny is, I felt that my father raised me like his son. We would sit up and he would talk to me like I was his homeboy. And he would be like, hey, you don't need to wear that. Don't do this, don't do that. And so at the University of Chicago, we knew that my father did not have long. It was not a secret that he, was passing away from cancer. But he sat on the edge of his bed. He didn't have a lot of strength left in him, but he talked to me and my sister just about, what a father would tell his daughter on an everyday basis, but he knew he didn't have long. So every word he said, he meant. Just how you carry yourself, don't let certain things happen. Make sure you got yourself in order so you won't really have to depend. It's nothing wrong with a man courting you, but to some men, they love it when they see, a woman that's like, okay, shit, she got her own. Let me step in. Let me help her. He really and truly put some things in me that, my father's been gone for a while. But even now, just in the way that I try to carry myself, I try to speak with respect. I don't always hit it on the mark, But I know that my father didn't say those words just for me to do the complete opposite, you know. And
Hmm.
I thank him for that because now that I'm an adult, a grown ass woman, I peep it before it even come to my doorstep. I'm like, "Ooh, he don't want shit," you know.
Hmm.
So, Johnny, are you implanting that real life, real talk in your babies?
I give now my 6 year old. I ain't gonna have to worry about her at all. You know them second borns, they something else. Um, but my oldest, I give her, and I shouldn't say we, because my wife is very, even though that's our um, stepchild, she is very much her mom. Um, we give her life lessons every single day, every day. The biggest life lesson I give her is pay attention to your surroundings. And that's on so many different levels because we grew up in Gary where it can go down at any given time.
Mhm.
You walk to the stove and it can go down. So you have to pay attention to your surroundings. And that's what I gave to her. When I was in the Air Force and deployed and all that kind of good stuff, whatever, we was in a war, you know, you gotta pay attention to your surroundings. It can go down at any given time. So that's what I give to her. When she's out with whoever she dating or whatever, pay attention to your surroundings. I mean, pay attention to what he's doing. What is he looking at? Is he looking at your boobs? Do you have your boobs hanging out everywhere? Is your butt hanging out everywhere? You know, is your shirt hanging down? My daughter is well endowed up top, so yeah, I had to deal with these things. I had to take her to get her bra fitted with for a bra. You know what I'm saying? Like we can have a whole nother issue on that on why her daddy had to do that. But anyway, um, I had to do all that kind of good stuff, whatever. So I'm giving her the, you gotta make sure you watching when, you bending over and doing this, or you at work or whatever. Look at your shirt, pull your shirt up, pull you this, that, another, adjust your bra, all this kind of good stuff, whatever. Because we perverts, men are perverts, and if it's out there, we gonna look, all of us, and So we give her we hit her with that stuff all day. My youngest is gonna be she gonna be she gonna be something else, man, because she got me and her mama in her. So
I absolutely love this conversation. So it's a two-parter. Since the segment is boys to men, and we started off talking about, what pretty much jolted you into 100% manhood. What would that, Johnny, that you were 21, I think you said, what, just early 20s.
yeah,
What
um,
would you say to him?
ooh, ooh. uh, what would I say to my 21-year-old self getting ready to go into manhood? E invest, learn about finances.
I took that pause because I think that that was a very great answer right there. You can't go wrong with that. So that Johnny opening up that freezer and
And
he's seeing that A ball, you would tap him on the shoulder and say, "Hey, this ain't what you want. This I need you to think about your money, invest, spend wisely, and you don't want to end up locked up." Okay.
now, what happened with the 8 ball was I heard my mama in my ear.
Okay.
um, that's what that happened, and that's why I was like, "Yeah, I'm gone." But after that, when I went in or whatever, and what I would tell myself, learn about finances earlier than what I did.
Yeah. To the women that's listening, and we have talked about, I feel like you put a good nugget of drop some gems like I knew you would. That's what made me excited Um, anything that you want to tell these women who are listening and they might be struggling in, understanding a man.
Ooh, okay. Um, Men are people too. Men have feelings too. So if something hurts you, 9 times out of 10, it's gonna hurt him too. We are not mind readers. Um, say what you mean what you say. Let's see. If you want an emotionally intelligent man, be ready to deal with what comes with having an emotionally intelligent man, because that emotionally intelligent man will leave your toxic ass in a heartbeat if he feels his peace is being disturbed. That's that. Um, love on your man the way he wants to be loved on, not the way you think he should be loved on. Love on him the way he wants to be loved on. So that means you'd have to ask him, how do you want to be loved on? Pay attention to him, respect him, ask him what his idea of respect is. Uh, that happy wife, happy life thing, kill it. Happy spouse, happy house. Because you ain't the only person that got to be happy. Da, da, da. Oh, let that man be a man. And I'm talking about with kids. Let him be a man. He's not going to love on your kids the same way that you love on your kids. You are a nurturer by nature. He is going to love your kids in a different manner. He is going to give your kids discipline. So that means he's going to be a little more harsh than you are. It is still love. That's all I got.
Ladies and gentlemen, I have spoken to Mr. Johnny Downs. Johnny, I really want to thank you for jumping on the podcast, bearing your soul, being completely transparent. This was a crazy ride. We made it over an hour, you
Yeah.
know.
And
But
can
I
still
feel,
go. Let's go.
yeah, I know. I feel like it was a well needed, very cleansing to just kind of hear from, again, a male's point of view. And I hope my goal was to not create not create a argument. The whole premise is, and I tell people all the time, that's what this podcast is named Put Your Phone Down for. I want for people to, after they hear any episode, for it to create a dialogue where they don't have to fumble with their phones. They could finish listening to the episode and then go take it to their friends. Like, I was listening to something the other day, and before you know it, conversation is brought back. You haven't looked at your phone. You haven't tagged yourself in anywhere. You haven't taken 1,000 pictures. We did exactly what we doing now. Although we using our phones to communicate in this way, the conversation that we had, it was absolutely no distractions. We didn't say, oh, well, let's see what's going on Facebook real quick.
Right.
And this was an hour long, and so this is what I would hope this episode does. Johnny, I really and truly, you welcome back, because I feel like once you get off, you go like, damn, I should have said this.
You already know. I'm already going through it, man. I should brought over here.
I'm thinking something too, like, okay, Keisha, did you ask enough for the women? But how about this? If anybody is encouraged to ask a question, our women, men, I got an email. Put your phone down, studio at gmail.com. You guys, I will put it in the link. Johnny, I know you got some upcoming events coming up, but whenever your schedule is free, I would love to have you back. By then, I'm sure I'll have some questions and you'll have some responses about, really what's going on in this world and how we can just try to make it better. So, Johnny, once again, I really want to thank you and thank you again for your service. Thank you for being on the podcast. This was excellent. Johnny, you got any handles that you want people to find you at?
I don't be doing much. I'm like I said, I'll be living my life out here. Um, but thank you for having me. Hopefully, I know I was probably kind of, some people gonna look at it as, oh, he harsh on the women, and he's misogynistic or whatever. It's not that. I really want to help people. Um, Somebody might be trying to figure out how to talk to their husband or their boyfriend or whatever, and you don't know that. Dang, I really disrespect him, and not on purpose. It's just that's the way that you was brought up. That's the way that you was taught. Like, how many people haven't heard of happy wife, happy life? I even had, like, I'm in part of a couple of fraternities or whatever. I even had brothers come up to me and be like, "Hey man, happy wife, happy life, bro. That's the way you gotta live." Nah, bro, you miserable.
Yeah.
You don't even like her. You know what I'm saying? Like, nah, not doing that. As long as she happy, that's what happened. That's what counts. Are you happy though? Was she happy? No, you're not. So, but yeah,
I like
hopefully,
that you said that. You definitely got to come back for a part two, because when you said you don't even like her, man, you just listen. You open up a can of worms.
yeah.
Man. Okay, so we go put a pin in this because I really want to touch on that. So
If I'm here, if I'm available, oh, I can do this on my phone. So yeah, I'm available.
yeah.
Even when I'm out of town or doing something or whatever, yeah, we can get on.
Okay, well, look, we won't say goodbye. We go say look forward to part two. This is gonna be released on Friday, and I really want our troopers and plus and more to chime in. So,
Yeah,
Johnny, this is gonna be on all platforms. Okay, so be ready to be a little stuck up and bougie. You about to be
I ain't never gonna do that.
I'm about to make you a little superstar. You about to be on all all these platforms. But no, for the people that are listening, this will be available on all platforms. There is a small delay with the Apple for the people that listen through Apple, but it is on Amazon, iHeartRadio, Spotify, and now on YouTube. So we are all over the place, and Mr. Johnny Downs has dropped on Put the Phone Down podcast. So there will be a part two, and you all have a great rest of the night.
Blue 5.